Say you are blessed. You are a blessing. 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 You are a blessing. You are a blessing. Good morning. I missed Easter with all of you, but I missed you all very much. I was in California, so our announcements for today: we are again holding our Grateful Gatherings Fund. They're fundraising fun events for 2025. Anyone can host an event. The host provides a theme, the minimum bid per person, and the total number of people who can attend. Pardon?
Mic's on, just need to turn it off.
I have hearing aids. I can't tell. It sounds really loud to me. So I scream. I have a deaf cat who has to go meow. The creative ideas for hosting an event are virtually unlimited as long as it includes some type of food, beverage, or entertainment. And your imagination is your only limitation. So sign up at the front table for events, and all proceeds benefit our center here. Valerie has an upcoming event, a pool and luau party. So been to one of those with her before. That's worth going to. It's fun. May 17th, Joe's putting on the Controlled Insanity by Joe Hammer and the Outcasters Improv Comedy Troupe. There'll be an alfresco dinner in the courtyard of savory soups and salads, followed by the show. If you haven't seen the Improv Comedy Troupe, you need to do that here. $30 for the ticket, and this always sells out. So make sure you get signed up. Again, Valerie's lunch on by the pool on June 21st. After this message this morning, Reverend Lee will open the mic for any questions or comments about today's topics. So if you have anything you want to write down and ask him later, there are some pads and pens in the lobby. I just have to say, I was away. I have a friend who's actively dying, and I was in California, and it's we're in our late 70s, so these things happen, and I've known her for since I was 19. And we sat for 2.5 days in a window seat overlooking the most beautiful garden and the ocean. And we just talked and sat and rested and read and slept. And we got to just be. And it was wonderful. And she's called me this week and she's up doing things she hadn't. So I'm glad that I got that time. It was just being with somebody. I didn't know I was up to it. It was magical. Thank you. We love music here at the Scottsdale Center for Spiritual Living, and today we have Dennis DeYoung singing "It's in Every One of Us." It's in every one of us to
So let me tell you a little bit about that song. That song, you heard it open, the first three verses kind of repeat over and over. For years, when I started going to Centers for Spiritual Living, which at the time were churches of religious science, that was a very regular and consistent congregational song. Some of you may remember that. And then I heard this version some, I don't know, 20 years later. And it speaks to our journey. It speaks to what it's like to grow and open spiritually. To remember that what we are doing is remembering, not necessarily creating something new for ourselves. Ernest Holmes tells us that we are working with a principle, a power, and a presence that is God. He goes on to say that life is a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker what he thinks into it. In other words, we're dealing with a law of reciprocity, a law of cause and effect that says as we are within ourselves, as we are in relationship to who we are and relationship to life, that is always what we will experience consistently, over and over and over and over again, unless we decide to change it. We get to make those choices about not necessarily, well, yes, about how we relate to our living and about how we relate to who we are and who we hold ourselves to be in every aspect of our experience. So what is the nature of life that you would create for yourself? How do you want to walk in the world? And when you walk in the world, what is it that we are expecting? Because, especially today, there's a lot of, I hear more than I pay attention to. I hear more than I pay attention to. There's a lot of chaos going on out there in the world. There's a lot of conflict. A lot of people picking at each other about this, that, and the other. I can't manage all that. Anybody else? Any of y'all manage all that stuff out there? Can you? No, I don't think so. If you can, I want to hear about it. What I can manage is who I am in relationship to it. Whether or not I am going to be cause in my life or at the effect of everything else around me. If I choose to watch the news or read the news or whatever, hear the news about what's going on out there, what kind of relationship am I going to establish to that within myself? Am I going to be at the will of it? Or am I, if there's a challenge that I hear about in the world, I can look at it and see it as a problem, or I can see it as an opportunity, like a prayer request. Maybe bad news is simply a prayer request. Consider that possibility. Ernest Holmes tells us that he writes somewhere, and I don't know where it is, somewhere that we ought to be the prayingest group of people in the world because we believe so much in the power of prayer. Spiritual mind treatment. We have a tool, 5 steps. We'll talk about it later. Very simple, very easy series of steps to get us in the right place where we change our belief about a particular thing. a particular person, place, or thing, basically changing our thinking about who we are. Moment to moment, we are in a dance with life. We are in a dance with the spiritual world and the manifest universe that we live in, between understanding oneness on one end, where we know absolutely, moments where I'm absolutely certain that I am one with everything that is. And then there's the other end that says, I am totally disconnected from everything around me. I don't know what the heck's going on. Where do I belong? Where do I fit in? And then there's everything in between. So often I hear people in the spiritual realm talk about it as if it's an on-off switch, either or. And it's really not an either or choice. It's a spectrum, just like everything else. Sometimes I'm here, sometimes I'm here. And most of the time I'm somewhere. I like to think that me personally, I like to think that I personally spend more of my time kind of over in this zone. Sometimes here, and every now and then I slip back here. So today we're going to talk about what are the tools, some of the ideas and some of the tools about how is it I can spend more time on the oneness edge of the spectrum than in the separation edge. So we good with that?
Yeah.
All right, let's do that. So to the song. One of the opening verses, it's in every one of us. I just remembered. It's like I've been sleeping for years. Anybody relate? Yeah. I'm not as awake as I can be, but my seeing's better. I can see through the tears. I could remember when I first, I'm going to tell some stories about when I started in religious science and Centers for Spiritual Living. When I walked in, I remember I was very much in exploration mode. I was 14, rebellious as all get out. And I sat down in there, I'm going, it was very classic looking church. It looked very churchy. I really wasn't looking for churchy. But when the minister opened his mouth, I was like, oh, this is different. This is very different. And I got that little tickle in the back of my brain that said, you really need to pay attention, maybe hang out a few times to really get a handle on this one. And I did, because I had been exploring. I listened to Dr. Richelieu in Redondo Beach for a long time. Took classes with him, dated his daughter. I did, actually, a couple times. And it was an amazing, amazing awakening. It was like somebody flipped a switch and a little light, not really flipped a switch, somebody lit a candle in a corner. And it just got brighter and brighter and brighter over time. Because I started hearing about how, how God was really not this anthropomorphic being sitting on a cloud somewhere, passing judgment on me day in and day out. I was trying to meet some arbitrary standard that he has set for me to live up to. It's not like that. It's not the message. The message is that I am loved no matter what. I am loved actually to the degree where I am loved unconditionally. My experience of that love is only limited to how much I can accept about me. How much can I care about me? How much forgiveness can I practice with myself? And when I start walking through that forgiveness process, when I start opening myself to that something more, accepting more of that light, maybe adding some candles to that one candle in the corner that says, I am loved, I am worthy, I am worthwhile, then that's when the tears start flowing. I start setting aside all the stories that I've told myself about how I'm not enough and start creating more stories that say, you know what? I am enough. And I'm worthy of love. I'm worthy of the goodness. I'm worthy of the joy. We are here to awaken to something new. And I keep telling myself a story about how I have a hard time with this name, and I need to just quit telling that story. Thich Nhat Hanh, I'm going to get it right one of these days, says this. He says, we are here to awaken from the illusion of separation. Now, trust me, he is not the first one to say this. We've been getting this message for thousands of years. That what we are waking up from, actually, we're waking up from the illusion of separation to the awareness of oneness. To remembering that we are all connected. And we have the practices of prayer and meditation and all the rest to help guide us back. We surround ourselves with friends who think the same way so that we can be reminded by their presence, by their words, by their encouragement, by their hugs, by everything about them. We gather here together, like-minded individuals, to remind each other that, yeah, we're all walking this road together and it's okay. We can celebrate each other in the journey. Because the tears we shed along the path are like so much water to the garden of our souls. The next verse of the song, I've been realizing that I bought this ticket. We all bought the ticket, right? I bought this ticket and I've only been watching half of the show. There's scenery and lights and a cast of thousands who all know what I know. Because sometimes it's like that. I know for me, I could get wrapped up in all this stuff out here and forget that that's just, not just, and forget that all this is simply an outpicturing of what's going on in here. All this out here in the world is showing up by design, individually and collectively. I don't always get to, and like I said, I don't want to manage all this stuff, but what I can manage is my response to it. How am I going to choose to respond in the face of things I both agree with and disagree with, things that bring me joy and things that bring me tears? I decide all of it. Now, sometimes it feels like a switch has gone off. I had an incident, I don't know, a few days ago. At this point, I don't even remember what it was exactly. But I got triggered by something that happened in the world, something that happened in my life, and I got really upset for about, I don't know, an hour and a half. It was really bugging me. It was irritating me that I was irritated. Anybody else? It's like I am. It's like a message in my mind. It's like, I'm better than this. I am more enlightened than this. I've been studying spirituality for 50 years. Yeah. And then I remembered Actually, I remember something Reverend Jill said. I know I'd heard it before, but you were the most recent iteration of it. I put that trigger there, I can move it or remove it. And that trigger is the result, that trigger in me is the result of me buying into and still being attached to some incident, some belief system that I put in place because of something that happened out here that tells me that I'm separate from everything else, that I am not deserving of love because whatever story you want to put in place. Story of addiction, story of abuse, story of whatever. I've got both of those stories in my own history. Do I let them run me? No. No. No more. I choose to live free of that. And still, the little messages, the little patterns, the little inklings of thought rise up to irritate the heck out of me sometimes. And I just edited myself on the fly. Because I remind myself that I get to choose. I get to design it all. It's no accident that in that phrase, it's like, there's scenery and lights and cast of thousands. We talk about this metaphor all the time about how we are writing the script. We invite the players into our world. What style of movie would you like to put in place for yourself? Sometimes we can look at all of this. We can look at this principle and say, okay, my beliefs create the limit of my experience. And sometimes, depending on my frame of mind at the time when that crosses my mind, that can be a bit of a velvet hammer, can it not? Or we can look at our friends and our friends who may be sick and going through a hard time and go, God, I wonder what's going on in their consciousness. Come on. It's not about that. It's about choosing where we want to go. Where do I want to go from here? How is it I want to feel in my life going forward? Sure, I may be going through a rough patch now, and if what I want to do is change that, then I get to put something new in place. And it doesn't have to be all designed out step by step. I could start with simply deciding how is it I want to feel in my life. And begin spending time in that feeling. Start there. What does prosperity feel like to you? What does health feel like to you? What does a loving, caring, joy-filled relationship feel like for you? Not for anybody else, for you. We get to decide what success looks and feels like for ourselves, and more important than anything else, how it feels. Because our feelings about any particular thing we desire in our lives is what is going to fuel the creative process. The feelings surrounding all of it is what's going to charge it all and build it up, and the rest will follow. Diana Cooper writes this, and I'm not even sure who Diana Cooper is. It just came up in this thing, and it works, and I am going to attribute it to a friend of mine I have online, whose name is also Diana, who's brilliant. So I'm saying it's her. Diana Cooper says this. She says that awakening is not about becoming who you are. It's about unbecoming who you are not. Unbecoming who you are not. It sounds like just something she would say. Awakening is not becoming who you are. It is about unbecoming who you are not. Now, if you've been paying attention in class, friends, we've talked about Troward before. Thomas Troward says something similar. He says, as children, we are born into the world in consciousness as a blank slate. And we begin taking on all the belief systems of everybody around us. All of the adults start writing on that blank slate. And then at some point, the process changes and we begin erasing what no longer serves us. We get to choose what we hold on to and what we let go of. And it takes work. And we could choose to have that work be fun or otherwise. Sometimes it's otherwise. Sometimes there's tears involved. Sometimes there's laughter involved. Sometimes it's alone in a quiet room. Sometimes it's in a group of people where all of a sudden an awakening occurs and we're like, oh my gosh. And we set aside that thing that up until now has held us back. And we begin to move forward. So what are some of the tools that we have? And I've got a handful of tools I'm going to go over briefly. Many of you are familiar, so I'm not going to go into them in detail. But I remind you of the tools that we have in our toolbox, right? These are all in our spiritual toolbox. In the face of conflict, in the face of upset, the first thing we do is we pause and we breathe. We pause and we breathe. We practice the pause before we speak. We practice the pause before we do anything else. Sometimes it takes more than one breath. Sometimes it takes a dozen. Or somewhere in between. When we pause, we close our eyes and we breathe. Another one I was recently reminded of is humming. Much like breathing. Humming, like oming, as a practical practice will help you lower your blood pressure. I'm just sharing with you, because we've talked about this, I lowered my blood pressure by 40 points in the dentist chair last week by humming. Just because we've had the conversation. Because I have a tendency, I have had up until now a tendency towards white coat syndrome. And they always get upset with me. I say, give me 10 minutes. Sometimes it works. Most of the time it does work. So humming, studying, book study stuff online, listen to, go back and listen to the talk history on our YouTube site or any other Center for Spiritual Living, their website as well. Or something that works for you. There's plenty of it out there. Journaling. I would invite people that if you're not journaling with a pencil and paper, to try pencil and paper. I find that journaling works differently for me when I grab a pencil rather than typing. It's a different experience. So, meditation. Pick your form of meditation. Be still. Take 10 minutes a day. If you're not meditating now, if you've never meditated, try 3 minutes. Start somewhere. It makes a difference. Walking in nature. Self-care days. Self-care hours. Spend time with us. It is so easy to get wrapped up in the busyness of this life. It's when for me, what I find is that when I get wrapped up in the busyness is when I forget the most, and I find myself slipping over towards the separation side of the spectrum rather than the oneness side of the spectrum. There was a practice I was given 30 years ago to just stop and, just stop in the middle of the day and stop and breathe and look around and remind yourself that you are one with everything you see. No matter where you are, no matter what we're doing, in the midst of traffic, in the middle of Costco, on a Saturday afternoon. I don't go to Costco on Saturday afternoons. You get the idea. Because no matter where we are, no matter what we're doing, we are connected to it all. Conscious of it or not, the connection is there. The shift that I'm inviting us to walk into is to remember that we are always, no matter what we're doing, have an opportunity to be in the awareness of the connection. To be in the awareness of the connection. And remember that when we are with that connection, the connection is one that is an opportunity to express love, express and experience peace, power, beauty, joy, laughter. To just simply be happy in the face of it. Doesn't mean I can't have compassion and empathy for somebody who is struggling or in pain. I can have that. And in that same moment, remember that there too is the presence of spirit. There too is the presence of God. There too is the activity of something beyond my own comprehension. So quickly, as I look at the clock, let me remind us, quick little reminder, spiritual mind treatment, affirmative prayer. We're going to do the junior church version, okay? So God is, come on, join me. Repeat after me. God is, I am, I have, thank you, and bye now. Okay? We start with God is all there is, and then remember that I am one with it. I have to be experienced whatever it is my heart desires. Whatever it is I can accept as being the new reality in my life, the new feeling in my life, then we have gratitude for it. We have gratitude for it as if it were already present. Because it is. We've set it in place already. And then we let it go. We plant the seed in the ground, walk away, and our faith and belief in that waters it and cares for it. And we just know that it will grow. We just know that it will grow. And that is how we keep ourselves over here towards the spectrum of oneness, the spectrum of our awareness of the connection to the expansive life that is the presence of love, that is God in us, as us, all around us, in everything that we do. And so let's go into the spiritual practice for the week. If you'd like to keep track and keep up with everything, we do have Mindful Monday, a newsletter that goes out on Monday mornings. It's a synopsis of the talk and the spiritual practice. So this week, be mindful of the moments we are feeling separate from. Feelings of fear, anxiety, and envy are all guides if we allow them to be. They're guides, signposts, letting us know we're feeling separate and experiencing a sense of separation. So when we notice that, we come back down to 2, and we respond to the awareness by choosing to embrace a sense of connection and oneness. We bring one of our practices to bear. The simple one is just remember to pause. Pause and breathe, and then go from there. Okay? So this week, let's be a little mindful about when we're feeling separate from. Okay? So now it's your turn. Questions and answers from anybody? quickly, because I ran long. Sorry, y'all.
Can you do the?
Quickly again?
Yes.
Okay. You have to repeat after me, though. Okay, because it's like junior church. God is.
God is.
I am.
I am.
I have.
I have.
Bye now.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, thank you. I forgot thank you. Oops. Oh, dear.
And
Okay, we
just
gotta
like
start.
junior church, you're busted.
I know. Former chairman of, yes, former chairman of International Youth and Family Ministries. Yes. Oh, I forgot that. Yes. God is.
God is.
I am.
I
I
am.
have.
I have.
Thanks. Bye now.
I
All right.
know.
Okay. Anybody else? Thank you, Stephen.
I might cry, but this might be the last week I'm here. Next week, if we're ready to go, I might be here again, but we're leaving for home. God is guiding everything I do, and what is it all? I say bye, and I know that God and you people are praying for me, and I'm going to St. Charles or St. Louis, Missouri, by the way, where I'm from, where I've always lived,
Okay.
and back to my old home and my friends and church and neighborhood. It's all familiar, but I do miss Arizona. It's so different, and this church has meant a lot to me. Thank you.
Well,
Anyone else?
I just want to say, Jane, how much we love having you here. And we'll miss you until next time when you're back.
all right. All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, let's. No. Okay. All right. Let's put principle to practice. Let's pray. So as we gather together, we remind ourselves and recognize that God is all there is. An infinite power and presence in which we live and move and have our being, and it in us. It is love and light and joy, it is peace and power and presence. It is love itself, the givingness of life to all. And so in this moment, I speak these words for myself, for everybody here present, for the community we serve, the country in which we live, the world community in which we live. Knowing that this is not only for us, but for all people. We know and accept and believe right here and right now that love points the way, that the light of God guides and directs us in all of our activities. And I speak the word for anybody here that has a particular need or desire on their hearts. I invite you now to simply let it go. And we know that the resolution is already fulfilled. For each and every one of us is whole, complete, and perfect within the mind and heart of God. We trust that all is well, that life is good and very good as each and every one of us right here and right now. We move forward into this day and into the rest of this week, knowing that the wisdom of Spirit guides and directs each of us. We know what to do, when to do it, how to do it, where to do it. All of it. Life is so very, very good as each and every one of us. And we walk through this life aware of our oneness with all that is. aware of the flow of our own spiritual nature and the spiritual nature of everything we see, touch, feel, and experience. We do so in harmony and love and joy, and we are grateful, grateful, grateful for each and every moment. And so we let it be, and so it is.
So it is. Thank you, Reverend Lee. Nice talk this morning. Very nice. It is time for our grateful giving today as we celebrate affirmative spirituality and support of our center, our community, this teaching out into the world. Ernest Holmes tells us, I know that my good is increased and multiplied as it is scattered. I am both an inlet and an outlet for the passage of divine love, life, and power. Wherever I go, I shall impart the divine blessing which I have received. I invite everyone to participate in this sacred practice this morning. Welcome online as well to participate. We have a lot of ways that you can do so. The donation basket will be coming around shortly. There's a QR code if you'd like to use a credit card. Our Zelle address is donations@scottsdalecsl.org. Financial stewards. You can pick up your tithe ticket at the front desk on Sunday mornings. If you would like to become a financial steward of this community, you can make your donation reoccurring with your credit card or with Zelle. And then you get these tithe tickets as your reminder each Sunday that you are participating in this law of circulation and the flow of good in your life. Money Finders is our prosperity program. For any unexpected good that comes to you, you keep track of that, tithe 10% to the community, you keep 90%, and it proves the principle of what we focus on expands in our lives. And if you're doing a cash donation and you would like to receive a statement at the end of the year, I invite you to use an envelope and put your email and your name on it so I can be sure and send you a statement. We are a 501(c), so your donations are tax deductible. All right, we have an affirmation. If you're comfortable holding your gift on your heart, please join me. I am an open channel through which prosperity flows. I accept the divine flow of goodness, ideas, and substance through me now. I am grateful for my full and prosperous life, and so it is.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 I'm so grateful.
And while we're expressing gratitude this morning, I want to express gratitude for this beautiful piece. Is this lovely? This is a gift from Miss Donna Adler, who created this. It is quite extraordinary, and we will get it hung up shortly and enjoy it for many, many years to come. Thank you, Donna. It was very, very generous of you to do this. And Mike, thank you for your help on it too. Yeah, put it back in there. Thanks, Lee. All right. So let's just say a quick prayer of gratitude for everything that we've got here today, for that beautiful piece of art, for the wonderful message that Reverend Lee gave us today, our music, all of the hugs, the connections, the new faces. We're just so grateful for all of it. And grateful for the donations that have come into our community today, knowing that the gift and the giver, blessed, pressed down to overflowing. And that Scottsdale Center for Spiritual Living is a grateful receiver as we circulate this good into the world to continue this teaching and to getting our message out. We're so grateful, and so it is. Thank you, Valerie. A few closing announcements quickly. Daniel is your practitioner today. He will be available to you back in the first room on the right, which we call the prayer room, if you would like a prayer with him. You can also leave a written prayer request in the prayer chest on the front table, or we're available 24/7 on our website for prayer. If you'd like to go there, you just click on that, and that goes out to all three of your practitioners, and we'll pray with you. May 17th, Joe Hammer is presenting Controlled Insanity. It's the Outcasters Improv Comedy Troupe with an alfresco dinner in the courtyard. Tickets are $30 on sale now. This always does sell out. It's a wonderful event, quite creative and funny. And next week we're going to start May. Wow, right? May. Didn't we just do Burning Bowl? Anyway, our May series, Reverend Lee is going to start that off with Journey Through the Wisdom and Insights in Maya Unveiled. Journey from Illusion to Reality. That's our book of the month. We've got a few copies on the front desk, and we'll be right back here at 10 o'clock for that message. 9:30 is meditation if you'd like to join us for that. And then don't forget the Wednesday evening rebroadcast of the talk at 7 p.m. Please stand for our affirmation and closing song. I live in peace and share my joy. I am empowered by spiritual truth. Today, everywhere I look, I see the face of God. And so it is.
Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace.